attack right here on free speech, obviously. They always attack it by saying misleading, disinformation, misinformation, that kind of stuff. And then notice that they want the identification of the individual who's saying it. I wonder why. Maybe to prosecute them. What are you going to do? Shut them down, deplatform them, whatever. But this is the direction they're going, and I think it's important for everyone to see that they're not messing around. When they say things like this, take them seriously. They cannot stand free speech, and they don't want it because they're afraid of truth. So they lie. So you have to have ways to censor the truth. So anyway, just keep a heads up. This is a growing problem with AI and the whole information world. So what I want to get to then again is more immigration problems and some very disturbing things. So you have, you probably saw this last week, toward the end of last week, that these armed Venezuela gang members took over an apartment complex, and they were running the thing actually, and taking money in from the residents instead of it going to the landlord. So they basically had hijacked the whole place. Well, I'll show you the video in just a second, but since 2021, Denver obviously has been a sanctuary city, and it's taken in about 40,000 illegal migrants, okay? Because of the Democratic mayor that obviously promised sanctuary, free housing, economic aid. So basically what happens is Denver can't take them all, and they're destroying Denver, and so they've spilled into these other places like Aurora, Colorado, and some of these, as we have said, are gang members. And this is from the Tren de Aragua. I can't even pronounce that. Can you? In Aragua, Tren de Aragua, which is a prison gang that came out of Venezuela. So they're the ones who took this apartment complex. Here's the video that went viral. They have guns and weapons knocking on people's doors in the apartment complex.
The city nonprofits have lined up to help the migrants that have come here, but nobody is helping the American citizens, the residents that are trapped in these apartment complexes.
So, as we have continually said, you have open borders, you have gangs, you have jihadists, you have drugs, you have all this stuff coming in the border, and they keep gaslighting and saying it's not happening, it's not happening. Okay, so let's explain something so you understand what's going on in Aurora and pretty much different parts of America. So what happens is these gang members threaten to kill the property manager at Whispering Pines apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado. So one tenant at Whispering Pines was stabbed by the gang member for refusing to pay rent to them. The gang members told the housekeeper, "This is our business plan, and if the property manager doesn't like it, we'll fill him with bullets." Okay, so basically they were collecting rent for themselves, okay? The property manager told investigators that the TDA gang members host parties in vacant units where they serve drugs and child prostitution, okay? So we're talking about the crime, we're talking about gangs, it's happening. So how did this come about, where they're taking over apartment complexes? The Biden-Harris regime, through the American Rescue Plan, allocated $3.8 billion to Colorado, and in turn, Aurora funneled $5 million to two left-wing NGOs, non-governmental organizations, that secured housing for the Venezuelan gangs. Now follow this. The NGOs, in turn, worked with the landlords to place the migrants in housing, okay? So basically told the landlords, look, you're going to get paid by the government or paid by us. The government gave us these billions of dollars. We'll pay you guaranteed rent if you'll house these Venezuelans in your apartment complex. Well, the landlords are in cahoots with this, okay? Because they're like, well, I can make a lot of money now. So, but they turned on the landlord, obviously. The gangs took over. But this was part of the deal, including a large number of contracts with CBC Management, which operated 3 apartment complexes in Aurora at the center of these Venezuelan takeover scandal. And so that's how they got it. That's what they were promising the landlords. And so we'll give you the money, take them and house them in your apartment complex. But here's what happened. They overran the apartment complex with the crime, child prostitution, drugs, getting money from people. And so the people in Colorado are like, we got to get out of it. This is crazy. This is out of control. And the police wouldn't do anything. Police won't do anything, okay? So the mayor the Democratic governor of Colorado, Jared Polis, tells citizens to ignore video of armed migrant gang takeover of apartments. He basically said that this is all a figment of their imagination, that the city council is just making this up. I mean, I cannot believe, this jerk would gaslight people on the ground when we have video footage of it, we have exactly what's going on. The mayor, Kaufman, who has confirmed that several apartment complexes have recently been hotbeds of gang activity. Kaufman told Fox News that there are several buildings in the city that have fallen to Venezuelan gangs. And yet the governor of Colorado is saying that's a figment of their imagination. It's not happening. Don't believe your lying eyes. And this has been part of the problem, right? That the politicians and the newspapers and the media is saying that stuff's not happening. Don't believe what's happening. But it is. Right? It's happening. So one of the residents in this apartment complex had to have a police escort because they were harassing her. You can see her in the pink there. They were harassing her, and so she told the city council or the city, you got to move me out of there, and I got to have a police escort because these Venezuelan gangs are harassing me. So the police came, they got the moving van, and she moved out. And that's what's happening to a lot of people in Aurora that are moving out because of these gangs that have basically taken over. And it's Mad Max beyond Thunderdome. Okay, so American citizens are having to move out of their place of residence to make way for these Venezuelan gangs. And again, where is law enforcement? What's going on? Here's a report.
Stoppers.
And really, a lot of the debate has been, is this the fault of the apartment management company, or is this the work of Venezuelan gangs? New information this morning, Aurora police teaming up with the CBI and the Colorado State Patrol to better address concerns about the violent Venezuelan gangs. Investigators believe some members are from Venezuela, gangs responsible for this jewelry store heist we brought to you. This happened in Denver earlier in summer. All 3 agencies now creating a task force which will allow them to maximize resources and share intelligence about the ongoing investigations. Mayor Mike Kaufman saying, and they've been talking about it for a while now, one of their initial goals is to engage and learn from the migrant community.
I don't know what you have to engage or learn from. They're robbing stores, taking over apartment complexes. There's the video. What is talking to them? Why don't we deport every gang member? What is the problem with that? Why can't we deport these people? They're creating a lawless situation, and so we want to talk with them. Stupid. So during less than 4-year period, almost 400 illegal aliens on the terrorist watch list have attempted to cross the border ports of entry. For comparison, from 2012 to 2017, about 100 illegal aliens on the terrorist watch list were caught crossing the border. So you understand, less than a 4-year period, we went up to 400 on the terrorist watch list. So when the news tells you there's no terrorists coming in, there's been 400 on the watch list coming in. We have gangs taking over apartment complexes. Don't tell me that's not happening. Quit gaslighting me, people, right? Strange happenings reported in Midwestern town gifted with 20,000 Haitian migrants. So we brought in about 100,000 of them, and 20,000 went to this little town, Springfield, Ohio. And Springfield, Ohio has about 60,000 people. That's roughly a little bit bigger than Delano, okay? So you have 60,000 people, and you brought 20,000 Haitian migrants into this little town. I'm sure nothing will happen. I'm sure nothing will happen. So all hell has broken loose in this little town in Ohio. All hell has broken loose with these Haitians. And here's one of the people that live there trying to tell the city council, you have to do something. Listen to her.
And I'm done with what I'm seeing. It is so unsafe in my neighborhood anymore. I have the homeless that were trying to camp out, and I have made concessions with them, and I try to help them the best I can to keep them from trying to squat on my property. But it is so unsafe. I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard. And I can't. Look at me, I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I had to. My husband is elderly, and last night, after living in this home for 45 years, he said, Noelle, guess what? It's time to pack up and move. He said, we can't do this anymore. He said, it's killing both of us mentally. I don't understand what you expect of us as citizens. I mean, I understand they're here under temporary protected status, and you're protecting them, and I understand that our city services are overwhelmed and understaffed. But who's protecting us? If we're protecting them, who's protecting me? I want out of this town. I am sorry. Please give me a reason to stay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So here's another guy, same Springfield City Commission meeting. And this, you wouldn't expect that guy, to be so adamant about it, but it's what they're seeing, okay, from these Haitians.
I think it's like kind of odd that like a guy like me has to come out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun, because I see what's going on in these streets, and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits, and I'm getting out here every day and I'm broadcasting this, and you guys are just sitting up there in suits or something. Like I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans, they're running into buildings, they're running into they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to, seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here, because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here every week, and then y'all get like a task force for the Highway State Patrol, and they look for guns and they look for dope and this and that and the fourth. That same people that y'all got riding up and down Limestone doing U-turns, pulling people over for blinkers and pulling people over for going left to center and a couple miles over. Y'all can take them same people, the Highway State Patrol, and you can take them in every single one of their silver Chargers and Dodge Durangos, and y'all can take them to Sunset, and y'all can park them right over there, and y'all can teach people how to drive, since the Highway State Patrol knows so much about traffic laws and know what to do in traffic. Y'all pay them. They can go over there and teach these Haitians how to drive, because it's getting I'm getting thousands of views on these, and it's going to get bigger, and it's only going to get worse. And y'all sitting up there in these chairs, all y'all need to get out here and do something. Y'all making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Y'all need to put on a T-shirt and some Crocs, and then y'all need to come out here in these streets, and y'all need to go out here and I'm out here before the police is. Y'all need to do something, bro. Y'all really got to stand on business. Y'all getting paid all this money just to wear a suit and sit in a chair. I think it's crazy, bro. We got to do something, bro. It's kids out here getting hurt. Only reason I even went on here and said something about it is because somebody told me they walking from the school and a Haitian almost ran into them. And who is getting paid? How much money is y'all really getting paid, to bring them over here? I know it's deeper than them. I know that's where they come from, and that's what they do. they country. I don't know what they got going on over there, but they can't do that over here. And if y'all just getting paid from it and then y'all ain't doing nothing about it, I think that's super weird, bro. Y'all got to stand on business. Y'all got to really, like, step up. Like, it's lame, bro. Like, for real.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So he kind of laid it out there. But what's happening, he's right. These Haitians are there and they're eating the ducks and they're eating the geese and we hear rumors of them going after pets and stuff like that, and they're eating them. And of course, CNN and New York Times say that's not happening, but these people are saying, look, I watched them. They're going to the park and getting the ducks and eating them. And then the driving thing with the Haitians, I don't know what that is, but apparently they are all driving and it's going crazy. They can't drive. They're running into walls. They're killing people, and it's absolute pandemonium because these Haitians don't know how to drive apparently. And I don't know why that would be happening. Who would let that? So here someone snapped a picture of some guy, some Haitian that got one of the geese that he's going to take home and eat apparently. He got that from the local park. I think it's illegal to kill migratory birds, I think.
Clark County Communications.
Oh, okay. So I want you to listen to this. Listen to this. It's an audio of someone calling in saying they're watching these Haitians like take these geese and kill them and eat them and stuff. So listen to this real closely.
Clark County Communications.
Yes, ma'am. I got a question. This is a non-emergency line, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm sitting here. I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation for my job today, and I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hand. They got away. I couldn't make out the first 3 of the license plate, but I got the numbers. The last numbers was 9898, and it was a gray Toyota Tacoma they took off on. There was about 4 of them. There was 2 men, 2 women. I couldn't tell the age because I'm in a hurry going to this orientation, so I don't be late.
What direction did they go?
They went up towards the middle of towards downtown.
Okay, and what path are you on?
Right now, hold on just a second. I'm coming to the intersection of. Give me a second here. It says Water and Warder Street.
Water and Warder. Is that the area
Yes,
you saw them?
Yes. It was about 2 minutes back behind me. I was trying to get my phone out and trying to make it to this orientation on time. I'm time crunching here. And I saw that. I'm like, yeah, this has got to be reported.
So how many geese did they have?
They each had 1. Now, the Toyota Tacoma did look like a newer model.
So here's a warning that got put out in Springfield, Ohio from somebody. Warning to all our beloved pets and those around us. My neighbor informed me that her daughter friend had lost her cat. She checked pages, kennels, asked around. One day she came home from work. As soon as she stepped out of her car, looked towards the neighbor's house where Haitians live and saw her cat hanging from a branch like you do a deer butchering, and they were carving it up to eat. I've been told they are doing this to dogs. They've been doing it at Snyder Park with the ducks and the geese, as I was told that last bit by rangers and police. Please keep a close eye on these animals. So this is what happens when you get overrun with third world people that eat animals, eat pets and geese and duck and stuff like that. It's off the chart. Now, the New York Times, CNN said J.D. Vance is lying about this. They said he was lying about this, okay? But I'm telling you, the people in Springfield, Ohio are saying, no, it's happening. This is what's going on. So Blaze Media picked up the story. 20,000 Haitians overwhelm Ohio City. Residents report slaughtered animals, increase in traffic accidents. Again, just continue to report. 75-year-old Springfield, Ohio resident speaks on Haitian immigrant influx, how it's impacted zip code zones, insurance rates. We have maybe 3 to 4 crashes a day, every day. The Haitians. That's not even Americans, that's Haitians. Our insurance rates went sky high because it is because of our zip code. This one lady that's in our group, they ran into her garage and killed her animals, demolished her garage. He had no insurance, he was drunk. Maybe I should be like the Haitians and not have insurance. I mean, that's the mindset we end up getting here. Nobody should have to go through that because of people that's here not obeying our laws. It's crazy. It's out of control. PJ Media, apparently now, and they're being sarcastic, but it's chauvinistic, even racist to criticize Haitian cannibalism because that's what they do. So here's a picture of a guy eating somebody's arm in Haiti. And we're dealing with people we're bringing into our country that cannibalize, okay? That cannibalize, okay? They have no problem eating the duck or geese or whatever, a cat, whatever. But in Haiti, they cannibalize, okay? Why would we bring people like that into our country? What's wrong with us? And act as if they're not going to change their behavior, and act as if they'll be just they'll assimilate perfectly. It's out of control. Haitian problems in Springfield, Ohio, spill over by nearby town. Petition being created to recall entire Springfield City Commission after Haitian influx. Here's a woman arrested for eating someone's cat. Okay?
What did you do? Why'd you kill the cat? Smile for me. Smile with your teeth. Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with him.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating it.
She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
You call the Humane Society to see if they'll come pick this cat up. It's deceased.
They're eating pets. Okay? So that's Ohio. And so when you hear them and CNN and New York says that's not happening, I'm sorry, I'm seeing something totally different. Don't gaslight me. Don't gaslight the residents of this town. Okay? You got a Haitian woman right there being arrested because she was eating somebody's cat. So now here's New York, Queens. New York has the same problem with the immigrant. They're bringing in these third world immigrants, and they're doing animal sacrifices and eating animals. It's just off the chart. So animal sacrifice rituals are increasing in Queens and New York. Animal sacrifices are surging in Queens with chickens, pigs, and rats being tortured, mutilated, or killed in twisted religious rituals in parkland surrounding Jamaica Bay. So they go in Jamaica Bay in these different places, and there's all these little pagan altars or whatever you want to call them, and they've sacrificed the animals there in New York. This lady rescued 3 pigs that were going to be sacrificed by these third worlders who were sacrificing to whatever god they belong to, whatever. I mean, it's just total rank paganism. Some of the leftovers, as they use in their pagan rituals, found all over. Here's this guy. I don't know what he's planning to do with this seagull that he caught, but the lady gets it away from him, thank God.
Why do you have the bird?
Sorry again?
Why do you
I catch you when
Let me have the bird.
But, yeah.
I have the bird. I have the bird.
You gotta be thankful.
I know how to hold the bird. Let go of the bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is he doing? He's probably going to eat it. Or kill it, sacrifice it, I don't know. I mean, who does that? Who does that? These are the people in our country? These are the people that are letting through? What are we doing here? So now, obviously, Donald Trump is coming to the rescue. He's going to Ohio to save the cats and the ducks from the Haitians. There he is in the helicopter as they're coming in. And there he is without a shirt. It's going to be up to him to save the cats and the ducks there, right? It's totally up to him. Funny. Part geese for Trump, I bet. Yeah. Yeah, I can see why, right? And these cats are all geared up. They're ready to go. They're not going to have any Haitians eating them, you know. So things are just crazy, man. I mean, and you have to laugh about it because it's insane. I can't believe this is happening in our country, right? And of course, the lady from CNN, I think if you might have heard her interview Vance after Trump did the debate, they were just told, "Oh, you're just making this up. It's not right." And of course, Vance made the accusation the Haitians are eating pets after a high volume of complaints from residents who called his office. He goes, many residents have contacted Senator Vance to share their concerns over crime and traffic accidents, to express they no longer feel safe in their home, the spokesman said. And then he said this, in the last several weeks, my office has received many inquiries from actual residents of Springfield who said their neighbors' pets or local wildlife were abducted by Haitian migrants. It's possible, of course, that all of these rumors will turn out to be false. Well, I don't think it's going to be. Do you know what's confirmed? That a child was murdered by a Haitian migrant who had no right to be here. The local health service have been overwhelmed. That communicable diseases like TB and HIV have been on the rise. The local schools have struggled to keep up newcomers who don't know English. That the rents have risen so fast that many in Springfield families cannot afford to put a roof over their head. And so he's right on that. So whether you're going to believe New York Times or CNN that they're not eating animals, okay, but this other stuff's happening, and you can't explain this away. Western Journal, I mean, you're having just article after article. Beyond the claims of migrants eating pets, the Haitian wave is causing real provable problems in Springfield, Ohio. Again, this is, well, I'm in Bakersfield, that's not going to happen here. Wait a second, man. You can't think like that. You can't think, you have to think, this can happen here. If these idiots, create a sanctuary city or something like that, that's exactly what will happen here. And we're in California. And you get city councils that are getting millions of dollars coming in from the federal government to house Haitians, and then they make a deal with some housing contractor and landlord, hey, we'll house them here, and all of a sudden you have 20,000 on your doorstep going through the streets, eating your pets or whatever, but causing your house prices to skyrocket, flooding the welfare system, can't drive, hitting people. I mean, 2 or 3 accidents a day by Haitians? What's going on with them? They're probably drunk. Who knows? How do you not know how to drive? I mean, so here's this lady, and you want to, she's in this little town.
Everybody wants to make this into a race issue. It's not a race issue. It's culture, it's accountability, and it's respect. And that's the things that I'm not seeing. The driving of the vehicles is a main sticking point. If you cannot speak the language, read the language, why are you behind the wheel of a vehicle? It's a lethal weapon in my book when you put somebody behind the wheel. Our children that are new drivers aren't causing the accidents and the chaos that's going on here.
Who's causing them?
The Haitians.
Okay.
The Haitians are driving and they should not be. I don't like being this person.
Okay.
I'm turning into someone that I really don't like, but they're forcing my hand, and look at me. Like I say, I weigh 95 pounds.
Yeah.
I've got to do what I got to do. I've got to make myself happy, and I got to take care of my family.
But you mentioned in the interview at the city council some trash on your front yard. Like, what have you personally experienced? Talk to me a little bit more. Just free reign to communicate.
There were 2 Haitian men came down with probably a queen-size mattress and threw it in the front yard.
Okay. Just their trash?
They were, I don't know where this.
Unloaded their mattress on your lawn?
Unloaded their mattress and started down the street. It didn't go very well. I tried to explain. I tried to be nice. Didn't go very well. So.
And you explained in English?
Yes.
Creole?
English. I don't know Creole. I know a little French, but not much. But I had to drop the F-bomb and told him take it and go. So they went down the street and ended up at that house right there.
Got it.
So they've thrown trash in the yard as they walk by, and I'm just done. I'm done. I'm tired of dealing with the disrespect. I've never been so disrespected in my life, and my ex-husband has never disrespected me like this. This is awful, and I just want people to know this is what's going on, and to me, the city says their hands are tied. They're not prosecuting for the property crimes, and it's a big mess, and we need some help. We need somebody to do something, and if it's me getting out there and they have to look at my ugly mug, then that's what's going to happen. I mean, I want my city back. I want my people happy, and this is my town. I want to take it back.
How long did it take for you to reach this bubbling point and speak out in public?
I don't like speaking in public, so it took everything I had, and I'm going to say the past 6 months have really set me on my ear. I sit on the porch because I'm terrified driving up Bechtel Avenue corridor anymore. So I stay on the porch and being pointed at and stared at. Culturally, something's got to give. If you're going to be here, try and abide. Try and don't make people uncomfortable.
Do you think the Haitians here are trying to assimilate to the culture in the town you grew up in?
No. No, I don't see it. If it is, more power to him. But I don't see it here. No, I don't.
Tell me how the Haitians are acting here, because obviously I've knocked on some doors. They live in the same homes you live in. What's the big difference you've noticed?
It's just culturally.
Yeah.
There's a language barrier. I get it. Okay, but when they are paroled here on the I-94, they get 8 months of English lessons, the first 8 months.
Okay.
If they're not taking advantage of that, then why should we, the taxpayer, have to turn around and have our services overwhelmed due to language barriers? Take advantage of what's there and use it to your advantage. It would make it easier on everybody in town. I'm tired of the discord. I want my city back. I want people happy. And I understand they're here trying to make a better life, but don't make my life worse in the process.
Why do you think so many Haitians are coming here to Springfield?
Jobs.
Jobs? In what sector specifically?
Topray, the glass. Okay, there's Topray, there's Dole, there's the McGregor Metal companies. But those are the ones that I'm.
And are they being told to come here to Springfield?
I don't know. I have no.
We're kind of in the middle of nowhere, right?
We're
Rust Belt, Ohio, beautiful town, but Rust Belt, Ohio, right?
Right.
Not close to the border, really.
Right. My dad lived in Brownsville, Texas for 20 years. So down there, he was 3 miles from the Mexican border. And to me, it's a bigger culture shock now what I have going on here than what I did when I went down there to visit. But I don't know what's bringing other than that.
Do you think the town's just being overwhelmed by the sheer quantity of these people as well?
Yes. Oh, yeah. They're saying 20,000, and I am saying between 35 and 40 with the birth rates and the things that I see going on. So I don't know who's to blame. I don't know whose door to start kicking in.
Yeah.
But Mike DeWine, if you see this, Mike DeWine, get a hold of me. I really would like to have a word with you. And I promise I won't yell at you.
Okay.
Okay, but somebody get a hold of me. I don't care who, get a hold of me. I need some solutions. I'm losing my mind.
So who's doing it? How did 20,000 Haitians get dropped into a town of 60,000? Biden-Harris. And the federal money that went to the mayor and everyone else in the city council that allowed that because of the money funds that could come in and the deals they cut with the landlords. So you understand, it's always go back to follow the money. That's how they got there, okay? But at what expense? I want you to think about this. If you're a city council member, so you're going to sell out your own people to bring in people that are eating the ducks at the park and crashing all over the place for what? For money? You're selling out your own people? You're selling out your own country? Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. These people are traitors. They're nothing but traitors for what? Money. That's it. And they don't care if it messes up your life. Now, and then they're going to tell you, Brandon, this is not happening. You're making this up. You're a xenophobic. You're racist. That's why you're getting after the Haitians. They're not eating ducks. They're not eating goose or anything like that. They're not eating cats. What you saw on those videos are fake. That didn't happen. And so, that they're gaslighting you. But here's the problem, okay? Here's the problem. A lot of the Haitians bring in their voodoo, okay? And just like you saw in Queens and New York, you have these third world people coming in, and they bring in their pagan religions into our country. So to me, it's not a race thing. It's a cultural, religious thing, and sometimes a political thing, because they bring in politics of left wing. And so my concern is, if you know how Haiti's like, it is like the voodoo capital of the planet. Okay? You're going to bring in 100, the Biden administration brought in, I think, 100,000 Haitians this last spring. 20 of them got deposited there. And there's a lot of voodoo stuff going on. Okay? There's a lot of witchcraft junk going on with that. And so that brings another element into our country. And then, some, occultic ideas are being brought in. So it's not just a diffusion of a culture, it's a diffusion of the religion, because now you have people that practice foreign religions. Okay. So, to my point, PJ Media had this article about the zombies, that get created, in Haiti as they practice voodoo, right? And the reluctance of mainstream outlets to mention such matters as voodoo and cannibalism in connection with the gang violence, as if the influence of the occult and the barbaric were somehow anti-black or racist. But it's universal, by the way, down there. Cultural trends suggest that occult beliefs have never been more influential in America. So we're bringing in people who are part of the occult. I mean, these are the people who make zombies, guys. I mean, I know it sounds like a movie, but, there's a whole occultic, with drugs and getting into altered states of consciousness that actually create a thing called a zombie. They're not dead. They're just possessed, and they're on drugs. That's all that is. A zombie is a possessed, drug-induced person. That's all they are. But it's real. It's the occult, but we're bringing them here. We're bringing them here. And guess who's behind a lot of this? The left progressive Christians. So the Mormon Church has been outspoken in support of left-wing immigration policies. Okay? They are quietly welcoming thousands of migrants sent to Utah from overcrowded Denver. Like I told you, they deposited 40,000 in Denver. Despite public protests by state and local elected officials, since there has been no proper notification or approval by Utah. But the Mormons are saying, bring them all in. Bring them all in. Again, Mormons, being part of the Babylonian system, are going to go right in line with open borders, right? That makes total sense. And so is every left-wing person that calls himself a Christian. So the Mormons are behind this. So this guy makes a good point in PJ Media. How much diversity is too much? Well, we've already talked about that. Diversity will only work if it surrounds around truth. If it's not going to have truth in it, then you're going to have the Haitians eating your animals and driving cars into walls and people. Are we supposed to turn a blind eye to these situations in the name of diversity? At what point do we say that allowing such latitude threatens the general welfare? At what point does the idea of that's how they do it in their country cross the line? They left there to come here, and here is not there. If things were so great there, they would be welcome to leave here. If here is better than there, do not come here and try to turn it into there. I agree. Don't turn America into Haiti. We don't want that. We're not Haitian. Sorry. It has nothing to do with race. It has to do with a culture and religion. We don't want that. That's not what America is. But why are they doing this? Well, we can say it's for political votes. There's no doubt about that. And there's plenty of evidence for this. In August, Alabama state officials had discovered 3,000 illegal voters registered state voters roll. Illegal aliens are also being registered to vote in Georgia and North Carolina. In 2014, hundreds of illegals voted in Maryland. Nearly every Democratic representative voted to protect illegals to vote in the upcoming election back in July. By the way, the U.S. Constitution and federal laws unequivocally stipulate that only U.S. citizens are entitled to vote in federal elections. What are they doing? Over the past year or so, a majority of Latin Americans have voted for left-wing presidents in Brazil, Chile, and Colombia. They join a swath of established left-wingers in Argentina, Bolivia, Mexico, Peru, and autocratic left in Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. Across Latin America, 12 of the 19 countries are now run by left-wing governments. They represent 92% of the region's people and 90% of its GDP. What's the point? They're doing a huge left-wing experiment in the Latin American countries, from Mexico all the way down. Okay? It's all left-wing. They're voting in left-wing dictators. And we're bringing in these people who vote for left-wingers from Latin America here too. Guess how they're going to vote? Left-wing. So that's the whole point. You know, and of course, Glenn Beck had a pretty decent article here. He says, across the board, immigrants vote overwhelmingly Democrats. It's right. He's totally right. Overwhelmingly they do. 92% of South America's population favors the radical left. And they're pouring over our border in record numbers, and according to the data, they're not changing their voting habits. Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. These are all swing states, as you know. Okay? By election day, an estimated 8 million illegal aliens will be living in the United States. Can these 8 million immigrants change the course of the 2024 election? The left says it's minuscule, it won't change the election. The New York Times say it won't affect the election if they vote. It's minuscule, really. So look what Glenn Beck did. And this is good. This is really good. In 2020, more than 11,600 no proof of citizen required federal ballots were cast in Arizona during the 2020 election. Arizona currently has 273,000 illegal aliens living in the state. Joe Biden won Arizona by 10,457 votes. Does it make a difference if the illegals vote? Yes. Georgia currently has 339,000 illegal aliens. Biden won Georgia in 2020 by 12,284 votes. Does it make a difference? Yes, it does. Michigan, 91,000 illegal aliens. Biden won the state by 2020 by 154,000 votes. Nevada has 168,000 illegal aliens. Biden won it by 33,596. North Carolina has 296 illegal aliens. Trump won it by 74,000. Pennsylvania has 153 illegal aliens. Biden won it by 80,000. Wisconsin had 70,000 illegal aliens. Biden won it by 20,000. Do not let them tell you that illegal aliens voting is minuscule. As you can see, these swing states were barely won. Barely. And there's plenty more of illegal aliens that could vote that could turn the swing states over to Harris. That is serious business. That's why they want illegals voting, guys. For number one, that's politics. Okay? That's what you have to understand. But let me go one step further, and then we got to get out of here. The other step further than just the election, which is very important, it's globalism as well. It's to create globalistic ideas in America, destroy patriotism, destroy everything that we have here at sacred, our society, and prepare it for the next stage, which is globalism, to destroy America to get to globalism. We stand in the way of globalism. So that's the ultimate intent, not just for this election. And by the way, if Kamala wins, she will pop the clutch for globalism. Okay, she's going to pop it because she's not, but they're going to tell her to. Okay, because this is what they have to do. So they got to win this election. They'll do it with illegal or dominion voting or whatever they do, and so they can pop the clutch for globalism. That's the ultimate goal. Now, here's the thing. If you know your Bible, you know that is exactly what the scriptures predict. That America will be out of the way and globalism will take over. Now, whether that's going to happen in the next 4 years, it may not. But that is the direction it's going. So if Trump gets in, we might have a reprieve. Okay? If Kamala gets in, then you already have your sign. You're going on full tilt at that point. You're not stopping. You're not looking back at that point if she gets in. So with Trump, you get a reprieve. With Kamala, full steam ahead with it. So anyway, we got to get running. Let's go. Let's pray. Father, thank you, Lord, for what we can understand about the world. It's hard for us to stomach what's going on, but it is falling into place, like you said. Help us to be diligent to get the truth out. Help us not to be gaslighted by these crazy media types or politicians that would try to tell us that we're not seeing reality correctly. Help us to stay connected to you, your word, so we can stay in reality and see the deception that's happening right in front of our very eyes. And Father, give us the boldness and the courage to continue to fight for the good fight of faith. We pray now in Jesus' name, amen.